It's very important that you're clear with who that person is, and that person, you may want to, maybe need to understand that in larger organizations, that true buyer may not be involved with nor use your offering. Very important that you have an understanding of who that person is. The second thing you must know is who is in the buyer's inner circle, who constitutes the buying group. So it's not enough just to know who makes the decision, but who are those people in the organization that are going to be the influencers. They're going to be providing suggestions, alternatives. They're going to evaluate the different offerings. They're going to be giving their point of view. Very critical in this current environment that we're in, because in many organizations now, your decision makers and your influencers, which constitute the buying group, they may have changed. So even if you have been talking to some of your customers recently, you know, in the 3-4 months ago, beginning of the year, you definitely want to be checking back and revisiting and having some initial conversations to first find out how they're doing currently, but you also want to be making sure that there are no changes in terms of responsibilities and or the composition of that buying group of the decision makers and influencers, because that is quite important. I myself have seen with some of my clients and some of the meetings I had that there have been some fundamental shifts. Very important now that you revisit, even if you just spoke to that person 4 to 6 weeks ago, that you check in to be making sure that the buying group is the same, because that can have significant impacts in terms of how things are going to be moving forward. And also on this slide here, I outlined the change agent. So the change agent, you always want to ideally try to look for, particularly as you're getting into those larger organizations where there are a multiplicity of stakeholders, you want to try and identify who are that person that can help you navigate in terms of understanding where the business is at, understanding who's who in the landscape, and can help you get you those video meetings and those video calls to help things move forward. You need to understand your company's quite well where they are currently. What are their key business issues and problems? What are their priorities and objectives? And what are they as of today, right now, at 8:45 on Thursday the 16th? You need to know how they are currently, because there will have been fundamental shifts as to where they were looking to do even 2 to 4 weeks ago. Very, very important that you understand that. And making sure as well, you know, are there any new or changing individual stakeholder goals that they may have. But very important that you have a current, up-to-date understanding of the current participants in the buying group and what are their key business issues, problems, priorities, and objectives. What's that burning platform for them now, and potentially moving forward in the short term. You really have an up-to-date and full understanding of that. Now, it's also, the next thing you also want to know, so in addition of knowing, you know, who's in the buying group, what are their priorities, you need to have an understanding of how business buyers buy. Now, a couple things I just want to raise here. There were some studies done globally around the level of buying trust in the B2B context. So global study was done across a number of markets, Australia included, to understand the levels of trust and buying behaviors of business buyers. Business buyers are at an all-time low in terms of level of trust. Even pre-COVID, a lot of skepticism. Buying is becoming increasingly complex, and buyers are looking at a number of tools and resources to help them drive their decision-making, to help really inform the decisions that they make. Things such as case studies, referrals, performance stats, getting free trials, white papers, demonstrations, diagnostic tools. The past few weeks, there's been an inundation of lots of information being thrown on the internet, and business buyers are looking for more than simply information. They want tools and resources to help them facilitate decision-making. It is very much in part of your job to really understand not just who those key participants and those people are in those business organizations that you're targeting, what's important to them, but what are the kinds of things that they are looking at. What are they reading? What are they doing? Who are they talking to? What sort of online event, online webinars that they're going to? What industries and professional associations do they belong to? Really important that you understand where they're going, what are they doing, who are they talking, where they're seeking those information sources and resources to drive decision. couple of things I also want to point out with regard to that. Business buying has always been deemed to be somewhat complex because of the number of people involved. That moving forward might even become more challenging on a level as business buyers, because of this now, there was mistrust before, but now what they're seeing through some recent studies that have been done just over the past 4 to 6 weeks, business buyers are not just having skepticism around potential suppliers, they're also a bit hesitant in and of themselves in terms of being able to make the right kinds of decisions. Hence, I sat on a webinar call at 3 a.m. the day before last with some B2B influencers in the US. There is an envision that business buyers will want to be looking and using even more sources of information, which is currently on average 3 to 5. They may be looking to look at other further sources to further validate and give them the insights and guidance that they need. So you can be expecting that business buyers are going to be looking for more things, more advice, insights, recommendations to help guide their decisions. So I've listed a number of ones there. References. Third-party reviews is becoming something that is increasingly becoming an increase. We're seeing an increase in uptake, particularly for those of you involved in technology solutions, as well as the likes of demonstration and free trials. Those are two other areas, and any kind of diagnostic tools. Those are some of the buying tools, decision-making sources that is being envisioned are going to be becoming of increasing demand and being sought after by business buyers. So this is something, again, you want to be mindful of as you're engaging with your business customers and prospects. And also you want to be understanding these, what I call the silver bullets to make business buyers buy. What are the specific things that they're going to be looking for if they're going to be seeking to do business with you? And that could be around expertise, specializations, any kind of certifications, your ability to deliver, provide service level guarantees, performance statistics. Very important that you get an up-to-date understanding of what these things are, because these things are going to be likely to change because, again, buyers are going to be, they're quite hesitant and they want to be making as much informed decisions and trying to get as much confidence that they have in their decisions as they're trying to plan to move forward to preserve the business, to pivot the business, or potentially grow and scale the business. Another tip I just want to add here, you want to make sure that you understand any risks or concerns that may inhibit business buyers from wanting to buy from you. Very important that you gain an understanding of what that is, and it's not a matter of just articulating that in terms of your meetings, your video calls, but being able to address through your processes and your systems, how you're doing business, that you can address those concerns. Because given this environment, the risk officer, compliance officer, likely to become one that is going to have more involvement in terms of overseeing and approving the buying decisions. And anywhere where there's opportunities where they feel that there's going to be a risk that could impact their business performance, that could potentially rule you out from being considered. So these are the 5 elements in terms of your business customers that you want to make sure you have an in-depth, current understanding of, because it's really going to be important to help you understand what's important to your business customers and prospects.